Elon Musk, who would love for you to believe that he's a huge fan of freedom and especially free speech, has started suing a group of advertisers on the basis of their violating antitrust laws through their boycott of X. So in effect, they stopped advertising on Twitter, which Elon Musk had bought and ruined and made it so that like reputable companies don't want their ads to be there. And he wants them to have to pay up. They're basically obligated to advertise there. Now, in effect, although this lawsuit is still ridiculous, it's not quite as ridiculous as it might seem, because what he is trying to say is it's not that they didn't advertise, it's that they coordinated, which they're not allowed to do. That's under antitrust law, you can't do that. But it's still a ridiculous lawsuit for reasons that we're gonna point out. So he filed a lawsuit in Texas to get the best possible chance for reasons that should be obvious of it working. It says that after Musk took over the platform in 2022, the Global Alliance for Responsible Media persuaded top brands not to advertise on Twitter in an effort to, quote, collectively withhold billions of dollars in advertising revenue from the platform. So he then weighed in on Twitter saying, I strongly encourage any company who has been systematically boycotted by advertisers to file a lawsuit. There may also be criminal liability via the RICO Act, which is just ridiculous. So it's one thing for him to be like, you guys coordinated and you didn't give me your money. Now he's saying, any company who's been systematically boycotted should fight against. So what makes it systematically? What makes it a violation of antitrust law? He just wants a ton of garbage lawsuits. That's what he wants.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
The right wing, Bud Light, Target, those are systematic boycotts. Would you like to get some involvement in there? Organizations help to coordinate that, by the way. Would you like to open the door for that? Anyway, the reason that they stopped advertising could not be more obvious. And by the way, it's happened on other platforms too. YouTube had Adpocalypse. There was like one ad that was placed on a video that like sexualized children 8 years ago or something, and advertising revenue dropped like 90% day over day or something. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it was insane. It was called Adpocalypse. And so what he did is he took control of Twitter. He brought back a ton of wild racists and misogynists and homophobes and transphobes and anti-Semites. He helped to boost them in the algorithm. He destroyed any faith that anyone has in the verification system on purpose. And now the site is filled up with bots and bot networks and racism and Nazi behavior. And so if you're like Jack in the Box, why would you want to advertise on that? It's the most reasonable thing ever to pull your ads. And I will also remind everyone, and maybe this will come up in the lawsuit. So he's claiming that it's like absurd that they wouldn't want to advertise. Remember what he said when some of them weren't advertising?
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's gonna try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself.
But
go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
well, let me ask you then.
That's how I feel. Don't advertise.
How do you think then about the economics of X? If part of the underlying model, at least today, and maybe it needs to shift, maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. If you believe that this is the one part of your business where you will be beholden to those who have this view, what do you do?
F-Y.
I understand that, but there's a reality too.
Yeah, so look, obviously that's like incredibly cringy and uncomfortable. And like he's so desperate to look tough or have the audience clap, and everyone's just really uncomfortable because he can't read an audience. He doesn't know what tough is. He's just a twitchy, weird guy who's desperate for admiration, but he's telling advertisers, don't advertise, okay? That seems important, I think, for this lawsuit, but Sharon, what are your thoughts?
Well, a couple of things. That was stupid, and that's Exhibit A, that maybe play that first and then play it again at the end of the trial. I'm not an attorney, but that's what I would do. But the other part of it is it collusion if we all come to, as you laid it out so beautifully, the same reasonable conclusion, okay? Is that collusion if you have all kinds of things that are against our advertising Bible and we don't want to be associated with you. Okay, maybe they did get on a party line and kind of comment after the fact, but this is kind of silly. And if he doesn't care, I don't know why he's going through with this. He has Don Lemon suing him. Can he focus on that?
I know, like you would think with his many companies, he has enough stuff to do, but the dude, he was suing Media Matters. Like this guy, he wants to control what people say. That's why he buys the platform. He wants to have more control. Nobody hates free speech more than Elon Musk. Anyway, we'll see what happens to the lawsuit. That remains to be seen. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.